This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
So here's the putting green. See? There you go. Got two flags. One was over there where Cutter's Edge Pro. It's not coming out now. Come on. Come on, wind. Give me a little wind. No, unfortunately. But there you go. And this one says Big O here. There you go. So there's my putting green. It's about, I would say about 25 feet, something like that. I get to practice, have a little fun. See? And then, of course, we got, the bunkers. Got to have the bunkers, man. Got all kinds of bunkers there. You know what I'm saying? So that's a taste of our backyard. There's Maiden right there. Maiden. Bono, how you doing, Bono? Bono. He's a Carolina dog, by the way. These dogs are amazing. Their temperaments are awesome. But there is the Sylvester Palm, which is just beautiful. All right, call my guys, Will and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Dogs are not included, okay? Can't include the dogs. Those are mine. But the exceptional work, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Make your home an oasis. CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to their Instagram page, by the way, so you can see a lot of the before and after work that they do. And it is exceptional, baby. This thing's been on here for about 9 months. No grass growing through it or anything like that. Right, Bono? Huh? Bono!
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you all are feeling well. Hope you're rocking and rolling like we are. We're out here in Atlanta, by the way. Let me see this way. This way. There we go. Might be a little bit more centered. All right. How are we sounding? Are we sounding good? Or what are we doing here? Just give me the heads up. I just want to make sure that we're sounding all right this morning. Make sure everything is kosher. We're good, Sean. Yes, we got the thumbs up. All right. Let me reorganize this a little bit since I had to shift this stuff here. Okay, there we go. I got a feeling, by the way, that Bitcoin's going to hit 31,000 today. Just got that feeling while I'm on the show. Okay, so in the next couple of hours here, just getting that feeling. Just got that feeling. We're in Atlanta. For those of you that maybe you don't follow the show every single day and you're tuning in now and you haven't tuned in like a week or a month or 3 months or whatever, we're in Atlanta. We just arrived last night. And, God, didn't settle down until, I don't think I went to sleep till like 2 a.m, I think it was. So I have not slept a ton. This way. There we go. Okay. I have not slept a ton. So, well, I normally have bags anyways. I am the Benicio del Toro of broadcasting. But anyway, so we're in Atlanta. We'll be here for a couple of days to see The Cure tonight and tomorrow at the State Farm Arena. So if you happen to be in Atlanta, by the way, this afternoon before the concert, I'll be at the Omni CNN. Which is literally next door to it. So we'll be there at the bar. So if you're going to go, you want to meet us, will be there at that hotel today. So if you guys are at here in Atlanta and you want to meet before the concert, we'll go to the Omni CNN. We'll meet right there, okay? Because it's literally next door to the State Farm Arena. So we can meet there at the bar and then bullshit a little bit, then go over to the concert. So any of you out there that are in Atlanta's, let me see what we got here. What do we got? Let's see. Steve Chapman in the house. He says, I'm really getting tired of this Dalvin Cook garbage. Either sign the contract or move on. Steve, it's not, it's his livelihood, dude. He's not here to make you happy, my brother. He's trying to make his bank account and his opportunities matter to himself. So he's not here to appease you as some kind of a Dolphins fan or anything like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to wait and see if something, happens and something gives. And then all of a sudden somebody's willing to give him the money that he wants. And I told you guys this. I told you for a while that he wasn't gonna get the big offers from the Dolphins. In fact, he hasn't gotten big offers from anybody. I think it's kind of shell shock for him. Brian Walters is in the house. Emilio is in the house. Tua Tam says, hope your traveling was safe and easy. Oh, enjoy the concert, my friend. Thank you, sir. We plan on enjoying these next 2 nights, as I feel as blessed as I could possibly feel, because obviously I get to see the Cure 3 times this week, twice here in Atlanta and then in Miami on Saturday. So looking forward to that. What else? Nizzle is in the house. Steven Gonzalez. This Dame situation is getting on my nerves at this point. Honestly, Miami needs to move on from this guy's holding us hostage. Actually, he's not. Let's get into that right now. Let's get into what's really going on here, okay? I have to kind of get well versed on what's really going on in the NBA and the changes of the rules and all of this stuff. And so, first of all, let's get to and thank you, Barry Jackson, because he kind of broke it down and explained to me a lot of the things. The Heat is screwed. That's what I read. Okay, the way everything Barry was explaining to us, because this whole apron 1 and apron 2 and all this bullshit that they've got going on, you want to know how this Damian Lillard situation is going to end? The Heat's going to bring back, they're bringing back the team. Maybe. And that's it. If they add anything, it's a fringe player, and that's it. And I can tell you that, okay, let's start. They have $178.5 million committed to their payroll right now. The salary cap is at 136. The luxury tax line is at 165. They have crossed that luxury tax line by $13 million. So they can't use their mid-level exemption, which is $12.2 million, because that hard caps them then from 165 to 172. So now all of a sudden, if you do that, you're in the first apron. And if they go over the second apron, which is $182.5 million, they can't use their $5 million exemption. Well, guess what? They've got to sign Vincent and they've got to sign Strus. Okay? Now, if you sign Vincent and 5 other players just to kind of fill in the roster spots, that'll give them a $200 million payroll. So they're going over the second apron as it is. That'll be a tax of $108 million for a team that you're bringing back everybody except Strus. So you're losing somebody, and you're still going to pay $108 million in tax. By the way, Great job by Barry. This team has paid $53 million in tax in its history. They really haven't paid a ton, to be quite honest. And now it's obviously more punitive. And then if they also sign Strus, they would go over $208 million, which would be $140 million in tax. Can I say something? Are we living in la la land here? This owner hasn't proven that he's going to do stuff like that. And I got to tell you something. If I'm Mickey Harrison, I don't know if the tax is worth it for this team. So this is like, they're going to have to dump a lot in order to trade for Damian Lillard. They're going to want to dump a lot because they're going to want to avoid as much tax as possible. And the thing is, the Heat have done such a shitty job of building this roster, believe it or not. I know that Eric Spoelstra gets the max out of it, but what I mean by that is, you know, if you read the article, and I won't explain everything in the entire article, but it's a very good article that Barry Jackson put together explaining it. Then they have to also give away first rounders in order to unload the Lowry salary or the Duncan salary or Oladipo. And they're not going to do that because they don't have a ton of picks. And they've got to save those just in case they can trade for a star. But there's only one star available, and that's Damian Lillard. And he met with the front office, with the Portland Trail Blazers. And Joe Cronin says they had great dialogue. We remain committed to building a winner around Dame. You know what? I want to say something about all of this. This Lillard has serious interest in joining the Heat is a bunch of bullshit, dude. If you have serious interest, then you're leaving. And he's never shown any inkling of leaving. He never says anything. And all we ever hear that he's staying and that, you know, he's whatever, just wants them to build a winner. That's it. He's not interested in joining the Heat. He's not interested in joining Bam Adebayo and all, since he met him and all that. All we hear is all that crap, and none of it ever comes to fruition. Ever. It doesn't even come close. So in my eyes, the Damian Lillard thing is dead. And then when I start seeing all this tax, and all I ever hear from writers is whine about tax. So I don't see Mickey Harrison paying a bunch of tax when there's only one star on the team. Pat Riley can sit there in the post press conference and tell you all and talk up Bam and Tyler. They're not stars. They have yet to ever prove they're even stars. So you're going to pay all that tax money to keep everybody together? I don't think so. You'll lose these guys, and then you'll say, we'll replace them with other people. We'll find other guys, and we'll develop them. Because the history is you don't pay tax. The history is you avoid tax. The history is all your writers, that's all they ever talk about. Well, no, they don't want to pay a tax. They don't want to pay a tax. They don't want to pay a tax. And then I'm reading this article by Barry Jackson, and they're already set to pay a tax. Because once you sign either Gabe or Strus, it puts you over that first apron. And if you sign the second guy, it puts you over the second apron. So now all of a sudden you're going, you know, once you sign Gabe or Strus, right, then that puts you over that first apron of $172 million. And then once you sign Strus, you go over the $182 million, and all of a sudden, over $200 million, and you're going over $108 million of tax money. and this is a team that's paid $53 million in its lifetime. Golden State paid a ton more than that just this year. Not the year before and the year before that and next year and all the taxes that they're paying. I got to tell you, man, that it doesn't look good at all. It does not look good at all. And I would not be surprised if you don't bring back Gabe or Strus. After reading that article and knowing how much they like to avoid paying taxes, and you take for granted the guy you coach. You know, one of the things I did agree with Riley in that press conference was that they've got the best coach in the league. That's not even up for discussion. Okay, they got the best coach in the league by far. And that magician can just probably make more magic out of the next guy. But you start to read that article and you see how punitive the tax is now. And then on top of all of that, as you cross these aprons, you start losing the mid-level exemption, which that means all of a sudden now you can't use $12 million. And then you go to the second one, then all of a sudden you can't use your second exemption. I mean, that in itself becomes not worth it. You know what I mean? And here's where I got to then side with Mickey. Is it really worth paying all that tax for this team? Or are you better off not paying for these guys, stay under the tax, develop more young guys, and just keep going this way? See, the sad part is you made so many terrible signings that it's kind of put you in this situation. You know what I'm saying? So the TV actually adds. I just turned off the TV for the hell of it. And then I'm not going to turn it back on again because it actually adds light to oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second here. Let me mute this crap. Storage Wars is on. Never watched that show. I've run into it a couple times, but never watched it. So the Lillard situation, I don't think is going to end well. I don't think he's coming here at all. And how they've got to build a team, whew, man. Limitations, dude. And I just don't see them paying all these taxes. And quite frankly, in this case, even though I hate hearing billionaires cry poor. In this case, I might agree with Mickey. This team ain't worth paying that kind of tax. It's been an overachieving team for 4 years. And you're asking Eric Spoelstra to be a miracle worker once again. It's a lot, man. It is a ton. So there you go. So maybe he's not really holding you hostage as much. Good morning, Big O. Remember, it's all in the hips, says Cesar Diaz. It always is in the hips. Always. Kyle Cockrell is in the house. NorCal says, wake and bake. Smash the like button. Enjoy your day. Please hit that like button. Thank you. And don't forget, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Tua Time says, I don't understand Dame. If those rumors are true that he wants Draymond and Grant re-signed for his demands, don't get why he would think adding Draymond would make Portland a contender. Neither do I. Neither do I. So does he want to stay in Portland and make that a winner? Or does he want to come to I thought he had serious interest in joining Miami. Shows you how reporting in today's world is a load of shit. Okay? I mean, there is so much wrong crap being thrown out there. Damian Lillard doesn't want to play in Miami. He never wanted to play in Miami. Ever. He's always wanted to stay in Portland. He's never shown any inkling. That's all media created or some bullshit has been throughout there just to stir shit up. But from Lillard himself, I don't believe for 1 second he wants to play for the Miami Heat. Not 1 second. I don't believe he wants to play for the Nets. I don't believe he wants to play for the Miami Heat. I don't believe he wants to leave at all. Okay? You show me with your actions. Your actions talk. The rest is telling me it's agent bullshit that's gone on. That's what it tells me. And these writers are hook, line, and sinker falling for this crap. Chad is in the house. Giovanni's in the house. Isaiah, Rosendo. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. And I know awesome things are happening in your life today. Go out there and enjoy every minute of it. You're damn right. 29 songs of The Cure tonight. Eddie Lepp in. Jay Gelfin is in. It's so strange listening to Omar Kelly talking with Joe before. Yeah, my buddy sent me a text. He says that Omar was on with Joe, and I mean, you know, listeners, including my friend, sometimes aren't accurate in what they hear. But he told me, because I ripped into Omar the last time, one of the times he was on with me, that he said it's a 9-win team. And I said, so they haven't improved from last year when they had Fangio and they had Jalen Ramsey and they had, you know, Long, and, you know, they've added players, you know, A-Chain and stuff. And apparently he told Joe 10 wins now. So he's gone from 9 to 10. But it's good to know the waffling is still there. Jamie Zoria in the house. He reminds everybody, please smash the like button. Very important to do that. Angelo De Jesus is in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. A long-time listener, but first time on the chat board. I don't listen or watch anything anymore. Just you guys. Keep up the great work. Wow, that's very nice. Very nice. Thank you. DL is in. He says, nice hat. Thank you, sir. Caneswear. Went to Caneswear on Saturday. I bought a couple of hats. I bought this one, which is really cool. Really badass hat. So I bought this one. I bought a Dolphins hat that was really cool. All black and it has the classic logo. As you know, I would never buy the new logo. But yeah, so yeah, this I love this hat, dude. I saw this hat and I said, I gotta have it. Gotta have it. Yeah. My wife got an Inter Miami shirt, long sleeve shirt. My daughter also got a long sleeve shirt from Inter Miami. The ladies love the Inter Miami gear, bro. The pink and black. They love that gear, dude. Let's see. The Chapman. I get that, but isn't it obvious by now that he isn't going to get the money he wanted? Yeah, but you still have to wait. Wait for an injury. Somebody gets arrested. Somebody does something stupid. Smack a 57-year-old man in the back of the neck. You know, you never know what a running back might do somewhere. I know I mixed in Tyreek, but what I'm saying is shit happens during this time, Steve. So something happens, somebody gets in trouble, and he happens to be a running back on a team, or maybe he's waiting for, you know, something to fall to help him out and open up a lane of desperation for a team. Jesse M says, Heat are trapped because of their cap. Best move is to let the Lowry contract expire and hope Hero stays healthy. Vincent and Strus are gone, period. I absolutely love intelligent, sensible, common sense type thinking fans. And Jesse M is that. Because if you read that Barry article and you know the history of the Heat, why would they pay all that tax for this team? You know what I mean? So just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And definitely the Lillard thing is dead. Lisa Rose is in. Marcelo Cambises, thank you for the love on Super Chat. Big O GM, sir, what are the possibilities of signing Cook and Hopkins? Come on, bro. That's stupidity. That's ridiculous. That Hopkins has no shot at ever signing here. Okay, Cook can happen, and I think it's going to end up happening exactly like I told you. Obviously, they never traded for him. Obviously, they never gave him big money. They weren't desperate in signing him. But I told you that if he signs here, he signs for a team-friendly deal. And as time wears on, this bodes better and better for the Dolphins. Every single day, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger than the Dolphins. The Dolphins don't need Hopkins. That would be an absolutely stupid signing, by the way, Marcelo. Just want you to know. I would rip the Dolphins if they sign Hopkins. Okay? All right? Why would you need Hopkins? There's only one football, bro. You've got running backs, you've got a tight ends to throw to, and then you've got 2 number 1 wide receivers. Better than Hopkins. Faster than Hopkins. That's silliness. All right? That's the kind of crap that they put out on Pro Football Talk and CNN and Fox Sports and, Yard Barker and all that because they've got to fill space in an off season. No team is signing Dalvin and D-Hop. No team. Not the Dolphins. No team is doing that. Okay? But it would be catastrophically stupid, and I would rip Chris Greer for signing D-Hop. Okay? Not for Cook, but for D-Hop, I would definitely rip him because that would be an absolute waste of money. Strafasi is in. Lillard reminds me of Beal. He doesn't want to win. Yeah. Don't tell me that you want a winner and this, that, bro. They've proven to you over and over again that Portland is incapable of building a winner. And so the Heat is there, who constantly build winners, who constantly go to the playoffs, constantly go deep into the playoffs, constantly go to Eastern Conference Finals. And by the way, I guess, what is it, 7 NBA Finals in 27 years? Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That means you're a majority of the time headed to the finals. You're sitting there in Portland where you do none of that. I can't help Damian Lillard anymore. You know what I mean? So we have to treat him the way we treat Bradley Beal on this show. He has no desire to win. And your actions tell me all I need to know of who you are. Chad is in the house. Marcelo really trying to get Ogo and Chance for Hopkins and Cook as low-hanging fruit. Yeah. Sagaro is in. If Tyler was a star, there'd be a line out the door to trade for him. Exactly. Reports are the Heat would have to gut the team, you mean, and leave you basically with Bam, Jimmy, and Dame and a bunch of minimum contracts. Red, none of that is true. You don't have to gut the team. You don't have to do anything because there is no trade. It's all lies. There was never any trade. There was never anything available. The Blazers don't want to trade Dane, so there's nothing to be traded. Okay? Those are all lies. Damian Lillard does not want to play in Miami. Those are pure lies by any reporter that puts it out there. They got suckered by his agent. Clearly. His actions say everything you need to see. You don't need any more. Everything else has been an inaccurate report, a lie. They've been fooled. And I don't care what reporter it is. I don't care if it's Woj. I don't care if it's Shams. I don't care if it's Chris Haynes. I don't care if it's Ira. I don't care if it's Anthony Chang. I don't know who the hell the Portland reporters are. Whatever, bro. Okay? Damian Lillard does not want to play in Miami. He wants to stay in Portland. That's what he proves over and over and over again. There is zero desire to play in Miami. That's the reality of it all. So there's nothing to gut, nothing to trade, nothing whatsoever. Hope for Hero to stay healthy. Hope for Jokic to take the next step. Hope for Highsmith to do the same. And hope we land gems in the undrafted guys. Exactly. That's where it's at. You nailed it 100%. Anthony Campos, Big O, new setup. Where are you at? Rewind. Ticker request for the. Yeah, I saw that. We'll talk about that. Gus 1388 is in. King Shore, George Albanese, Ray Sosa. Seeing that breakdown by Barry Jackson, I'm even less optimistic that we'll be getting Lillard. You're not getting Lillard, you're not getting Strus, and you're not getting Vincent back. These people aren't paying the tax, bro. DJ Ozone says Tyreek just screwed his team with this poor choice of action. Dude is a millionaire. Go buy a boat. Don't bully your way to it. Sam Roke is in. Jamie says, oh, you got to get an Expos hat for the poop art segments. Sam Roke in. Gordon says, I heard Omar this morning with Joe. He was breaking down the cap. I'm a firm believer now that he only believes the cap doesn't exist when he talks to you. I know. It's just he flip-flops. I just told you. He told Joe 10 wins when he was saying 9. It's like, so they haven't improved, you know? And then the cap, in one moment he says the cap is fake, and then in the next moment he says the cap is real. He's never consistent. That's why when he's on with me, I call him out on all that shit. Because I don't let him flip-flop on my ass and say one thing one moment and then the other. No, I'm not going to let you do that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah. The cap has always been real. It's a credit card. Eventually, you got to pay for it. And then it'll cost you room. And then that year or 2 or 3 that you have cap problems, you will sign less players than you normally could because you'll have less space to do it. Good morning from the Villages, Jeff Peterson. So, Jeff, how crazy are the Villages? So, if you're old and horny, do you move to the Villages? Is that the thing? Right? Because, you know, they said that venereal diseases are all over the place. There's orgies and swapping and swinging and all kinds of craziness. I will say this. The Villages look like a cool place to live. Dude, they've got a street for cars, and then they've got a street for golf carts. They've got a gas station for golf carts there. Okay? I mean, the Villages look like a fun place. Okay? But apparently, if you're old and horny, you could get a lot of action in the Villages. So once you get old, okay, and if you happen to be single, you know, or maybe if you're a funky couple, you know, you like to, you know, have a little fun there, that's a possibility. The Villages. I know that Sean is looking into moving into the Villages in the near future. That's what he told me. So he heard all those stories and he's ready to go. I think he's going to start even a wrestling deal over there at the Villages. A lot of people are going to be going to hospitals. A lot of dislocated hips. What else do we have here? In other words, temper your expectations for Lillard coming to Miami even more and expect a slightly worse roster next year with an aging Jimmy. Yeah. And then hope that the miracle worker can do his miracles all over again because that's what Eric Spoelstra does. Fabian Festa is in the house.
Let's see. Double F for Fabian Festa. Speaking of F, we were just talking about the Villages. Anyway, let's see. I think Dame is okay being Dan Marino. Yeah, I don't think Dame has one iota of Dan Marino in him. Big O, have a good day. Quick, Marlins keep 6-7 over 500. Think they will be buying mode at deadline. They are doing so well. They're really coming together. The talent has really come together. You are correct. The pitching staff. Yuri has been. This run has been without Sandy, who's pitching tonight, by the way. And the Red Sox haven't been shit. They're like 40-39 or something. They're nothing special. Like the Cardinals are coming up too, and they're nothing special either. You have opportunities here to take advantage, and they need to take advantage. One of the things that the Marlins have already proven in the first half of the season is that they're not a bad team. They're at least in the middle right now. Now we're going to find out over the next 2 months, like I've told you before, as they play the better teams, let's see where they stand against those kind of teams. And then the real test will be with Sherman, right? You're this close. You're the number one wild card team. Don't F around. Don't stand pat. Okay? Do something. Add something to this team. That would be nice. It would be nice to see them actually spend some money. By the way, they saw a lot of people show up this weekend. Maybe that's a sign for you. Hey, guys, we're not the problem. You are. You need to win. You need to, give people a reason to come to the park. By the way, Gene Segura's coming back today. Jazz is coming back today. So hopefully Jazz can get, heated up. And, he's got to get comfortable out there in the outfield and all that stuff. But if you can get Sandy back on track at Jazz, and you've already played one hell of a first half, maybe these guys can surprise us even more. Because I know I didn't see this coming. I know I'm completely floored by this. It's pretty awesome to watch. Because I didn't expect them to – I didn't expect them to score this many runs, actually. That's where the problem was. I expected Sandy to pitch well, and he hasn't. Yuri's been, very Dontrelle Willis-like, right? You remember when you called up Dontrelle Willis years ago in 2003, right? And he took off, and he was, that was like it was an event here every 4 days with Dontrelle and the Funky Chicken. And Yuri's kind of turned into not the showcase that Dontrelle was, obviously, but he's nasty, bro. Nasty. So the Marlins are doing stuff that most of us didn't expect. We kind of expected a typical Marlins year, and they've done a lot better than that. So it's been pretty cool to watch, man. I got to say, definitely. Let's see. Big O, do you think Wembayama going to a legit real deal? As of now, he's a project going to the Spurs with their development going to be great. As a basketball fan, it's going to be great to watch. We'll see. He's thin. He's got to build up that body a little bit because of the wear and tear. It's not so much that he's playing in the 90s with real centers and he's got to bang and all that. That's not this league anymore. But he still has to deal with a more physical league than he's ever been in. And, the stretch, the 82 games and the wear and tear on that. So that'll be tough on the young man. That's not going to be easy for him. But he does have a nice skill set. Although the French are pissed, right? Because he now chose to play for Team USA instead of France. Because his dad is French, but his mom is American. His mom played basketball here. So, he has that opportunity. All right, let's do it. Let's unleash the Wolf Pack.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolfe. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto, Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolfe.
All right. You're in Bristol. I'm in Atlanta. So,
yeah, we're both traveling. Yeah, I'm in Universal Orlando. So, doing a little family, but work never stops. So we'll talk a little bit of ball while I'm in line for this Jurassic Park ride.
Oh, okay. I haven't ridden that Jurassic Park ride. I haven't been to Disney pre-pandemic, dude. So
Really?
I have, yeah.
Now that I think about it, I went to Disney right 2 summers ago. Right? I guess probably what was that? Peak pandemic, actually.
Yeah.
We were wearing masks. Yeah, we were wearing masks, and that's the last time I went.
Yeah, the thing was, I haven't wanted to go yet until all the restrictions are done, so that way I can just go and enjoy it like what you're doing now. No restrictions. Now you can just
be free.
Yeah, you can be free. Hey, you know who's not free, and they're putting a gun to their head is the New York Jets. They're going to put
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, they're going to put them on Hard Knocks, and I got to tell you something. Aaron Rodgers is the guy that is not built for this.
Yep.
I think that's going to be a lot of uncomfortable television, to be quite honest with you, with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of anticipating that.
So I'm just looking to see how many wild, out of this world takes he has as far as medicine, as far as mushrooms. I wonder if they follow him around when he's talking about psychedelics. And then
I think they'll take that out. They'll edit that stuff out. Yeah, because there'll be an NFL official sitting there with the editing, as you know, that there's a team official, there's an NFL official that's there in the editing room, and they're going to want to say, no, we can't have this. Right, so some of those things, like the hallucinogenics and all that kind of stuff, we can't tell this. Yeah, we don't want our players taking peyote and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I can't see that, dude.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers, the spectacle that it is, that team, and being in New York and having Aaron Rodgers, I think it would be entertaining. I think it would probably be bad for the Jets, but I want to see it. So I don't think they've announced it as official yet, but I think the report was the Jets are bracing to be the team picked. So, yeah.
Well, dude, you can't put Washington because of Snyder.
No.
Right? And they're already thinking of using Washington in the in-season once Snyder sells officially. Again, because the NFL doesn't want Snyder out there. So they've got to – and then the Bears are not sexy yet because Justin teased us, right? But he hasn't completely crossed that threshold yet. And then the Bears aren't really a sexy team overall. So the Jets are actually a sexy storyline.
They are.
Know what I mean?
They are. It's a big market team that has been dying to win, that has not won in a while. So you can sell. Is this the resurgence? Is this Joe Namath? Are we doing what, So they're going to overhype this thing and dramatize it. But I think it could be fun. Sauce Gardner is a great personality, so he'll be a fun character to watch in that broadcast. I'm with it. I know Robert Saleh won't like it, but I like it.
Although I kind of think that Saleh is actually good for this.
Yeah, because he's got the hard nose. He's probably not going to buy into like the show, but if he's truly himself, then people will start to like him more. He's got a lot of redeeming qualities, and
I like him.
Yeah, he's going to coach him hard.
I know. God forbid, I'm a Dolphins guy. I hate to say
like
that.
Robert Saleh too.
I gotta say, he gives me a good vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I never really bought the bullshit of Rex Ryan, but this guy, I think I take this guy serious. You know what I mean?
He feels genuine, right?
Yeah, he feels legit. Yeah. It's not for show or anything like that. He looks like the guy that really wants to reach his players and coach them and connect with them. So I kind of like that. the Dalvin Cook story is driving everybody crazy, apparently. I kind of like this. I think the best thing for the Miami Dolphins is for this thing to continue to play out the way it's playing out, where he doesn't have a lot of options. And I somebody asked me this before you came on, and I told him that I almost think like he's waiting for some shoe to fall, somebody to get in trouble, an injury, some level of desperation for somebody. Because right now there is no desperation for running back.
Right, absolutely. I think this is going to be a right before training camp signing. That would be my guess at this point. He's going to let every team make their best offers, and then sometime before training camp, he takes a deal, whether it's Miami or elsewhere. That to me is the most likely vibe.
What's your gut tell you?
I don't want to sell hope, but he's giving me too many signals about Miami. So unless another team blows him out of the water, I got to believe Miami would be the quote-unquote favorite. Now, they're not going to go up a lot of money, and so he would have to go down dramatically. But based on what the market is and what he's not getting right at this point, unless somebody comes out of the woodwork and said, hey, we're offering you $8 million, $10 million, I would handicap it and say Miami.
All right, we wrap it up with this. Cameron Wolfe's, not Cameron Wolfe's daughter, not Cameron Wolfe's wife, not Cameron Wolfe's friends, Cameron Wolfe's top 3 rides in all of Disney parks.
Oh, that's a great question. So I love
number 3 is
okay, let me rank them. Okay, let's do number 3 is Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay.
The Rock and Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith ride.
Right.
I enjoy that one. That's a nice thrill.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Tower of Terror.
Okay.
Tower of Terror still gets me. I'm a thrill guy, so I love the draft. I love everything about it. And number 1 is Avatar. I haven't been on the Star Wars yet, but the new Avatar ride, there's something special about that one. You get linked up to the Avatar, and it's amazing. It's worth the 2-3 hour wait that you have to go about to get into that ride sometimes. So that's my top 3 right now, but there's been 2 or 3 new rides since I've last gone. So I'm going to stop by Disney on Thursday and try to see if I can see them. The Star Wars, the Tron, the Guardians ride, all those I haven't been on yet.
I haven't been on Tron yet, bro. I've been dying to ride that Tron one, bro. That one looks really freaking cool, man.
It does.
All right, follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolfe, and of course catch him there at the NFL Network doing his thing. But for now, he's doing his thing in Disney. Cam, We'll catch up later in the week, baby. Be good.
All right, man. Sounds good.
You got it. There you go. Cameron Wolfe, baby, in Disney. What's your top 3 rides in Disney there, Sean? See, that's my problem, too. There's a bunch of rides that I haven't ridden. And so I can't put them in my rankings because I don't know what they are. The Avatar ride I haven't ridden. I haven't ridden the Tron ride. There's a bunch of rides that I haven't tried yet. How about you?
I always go with It's a Small World, Dumbo, the teacup.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan's good one as well. Yeah, those. I just I'm not the guy that's gonna. No,
You're not the thrill ride. You're not the thrill rider.
The Rock and Roller Coaster and the Tower of Terror. I haven't been there in a while through some of the new ones, and we went recently, and it was just too long of lines. Like if you don't get there like 7, 8, whatever in the morning and get those fast passes, you're in like a 4-hour line. And I'm not a guy that's going to sit there and only thing I'm waiting 4 hours for is food.
Food.
Yeah. Not waiting in a ride for 4 hours, man. Yeah. So I haven't been on like any of the newer ones. So, I'm more of the old school. It's a Small World stuff.
Yeah. I got to check it out myself. I've got to visit Disney and catch up with a bunch of the rides, dude. Yeah, but now I'm ready to go back, and we're Disney people, by the way. Okay. Well, my wife and I used to go to Disney all the time without my daughter, We go with my daughter, and we'll go again now without my daughter. We are Disney people. We love it. To me, it's one of my favorite places in the world to just spend time and relax. It's one of those places. I know that the lines sometimes are brutal and stuff like that, but overall, I can walk around. Just walk around, people watch some shows. I can do all those kind of things, the parades, the fireworks, the lighting of the castle, that show and all that kind of stuff. I like all that stuff. So I'm good with that. I'm a Disney person, right? And the few times that I've been able to do it, if I can get a room at the Polynesian, I'll do it. That's my favorite hotel in the world, the Polynesian. There's a billion hotels you guys can name out there that are better. I get it all. I get all of that. But there's something about the Polynesian since I was a child that it just, man, that place is special. I can't explain it. I can't tell you why, but and nowadays it's so damn expensive that it's impossible for me to stay there nowadays. But in the past I have, and it's a lot of fun. Love the Polynesian. That would probably be my number one hotel of all time. Yeah. If I can stay at if I could live at the Polynesian, I would. Put it that way. I'd be the happiest person in the world living at the Polynesian. As long as I can take my wife and my dogs, I'm good. Okay. Let's see. What else? Josh is in the house. What up, oh? The Blazers are in debt. Laughing my ass off. They got plenty of money. I think that guy that owns the Blazers got a couple bucks. I can't watch any TV this time of year, says NorCal. Speculation is so annoying to me, so I just turn it all off and tune into our brother, Finlaw Big O. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Well, we kept you away from all that FUD about Dalvin, right? Miguel Guantes says, hey, Omar said that if they sign Cook, they go from 10 win to 12 or 13 win team and a Super Bowl contender. Yeah, I've heard him say that before. King Short, Village People. Why are you mentioning the Village People? I don't get it. YMCA? Macho Man? What are we doing here? Corey Stanton says the Heat can't just not keep signing anyone. Okay. What else? Did somebody say orgy? Yes, I said it. Squared Circle Digest from the Villages will be a great show. I'm telling you, bro. Steven says, I disagree, I think the Heat will do something at the deadline, just not now. If Spoke can keep them afloat until the deadline, then they'll be okay. Yeah, I like that, Steven, that because at the deadline, you only have a small, the half left of Lowry's salary or Oladipo. So those are expiring contracts. You might be able to make a move. You might be right. Depends on what salary they're trying to dump. You know what I mean? EJ Barro in the house. Oh, you can see Trump at the Hall of Presidents. Yeah, I love the Hall. The Hall of Presidents is where I go to catch up on my sleep. Got to be honest. So when I go to Hall of Presidents, it's usually late in the afternoon. I've walked around a lot, stood around a lot, sweated like a whore in church. And then I'm like, man, I got to rest. And where do we go? Hall of Presidents. Oh, boy. Yeah, man. Love it. You know where I used to do that a lot too was Energy with with Ellen and Bill Nye the Science Guy. That thing is gone now. There's no more energy. But you'd get on that machine. You know, at first you have to stand and watch the show. Can't sleep there. Okay, but then they open the doors. You get onto the whatever, those moving platforms, those trains or whatever they're called. And brother, I'd lift up my legs, lean back, out like a light. And by the time that ride was over, it was like a little energy boost. What's the other one? Oh, I like to sleep in Filler Magic. That's another one. Filler Magic. And then usually at the end, the strawberry, you know, from the pie and the water wake you up. Well, okay, it's time to get up and go. So there you go. Yeah, there's a couple that you can, you know, catch up on some sleep. Admit it. Come on. Don't lie there. Some of you catch up on certain rides. You're like, yeah, I've seen this so much, I can sleep. Nico says, if you ever get a chance to do the VIP tour in Disney Epcot Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, it's amazing. Do it with another family. You'll get on all the rides in 10 minutes on all the parks. All right. What's that cost? Big O, do you remember the Le at the Polynesian? Oh, the luau, you mean? I'm sorry. Yes, they have. I went to that luau, God, 10 years ago, some shit like that. I'm sure they still have it because that's part of their whole, you know, deal at that place. So I'm sure they have the luau. They had good food too at the luau, if I remember correctly. So yes, the let's see, Carousel of Progress. Now is the time. Now is the best time. Now is the time for joy or life. Life is a prize. Live every minute. Open your eyes and see. Yesterday's memories will sparkle and gleam. Tomorrow is still but a dream. Right here and now, we've got it made. The world's forward marching and we're in the parade. Now is the time. I got a memory, bro. I can remember shit sometimes and I don't know how I remember it, but I remember it. I don't know how. I have no idea. By the way, the dog had 4 different names. It was Spot was one. Because, you know, when it switched and it go from one day, dog couldn't live. So they were pretty smart about that. It wasn't Spot the entire time. So they actually, like, you know, hey, we can't name him Spot, you know, over a span of 800 years here. You know, the dog can't live for 80 years. So we got to change it up. Rover, Spot. It was very generic, very typical dog names. But it was Rover and Spot, and then there were 2 other names. Forgot now. But yeah. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, what are your 3 favorite songs by The Cure? Ooh. Screw. The bass in that is just amazing. 6 Different Ways. And Killing an Arab. How about that? Okay. I mean, there's so many to love about, you know, with The Cure. The Head on the Door, I could listen to that entire album, you know, and I picked 2 songs out of that album because that's my favorite album, The Head on the Door. That is just a masterpiece. Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me is also a phenomenal, phenomenal album. So yeah, but I'll go with those three right there. Big O, I can fix that too much memory problem you have. Sorry. Shame you guys make history sound boring. What do you mean by that? I don't know what that means. What do make history sound boring? Cigaro has Space Mountain as number 3, Tower of Terror number 2, and Guardians number 1. Okay. Unfortunately, the Luau Show dinner has been closed for some time. Really? Now, did they do that pandemic? Have they brought it back now post-pandemic? Are you sure that it was maybe only eliminated during pandemic? See, my problem is I haven't been to Disney in a while, dude. Several years now. Now it's been like, I don't know, 4 years or 5. Because it was probably a year or 2 before the pandemic that I didn't go, and then the pandemic, and then now we're finally past all that bullshit. So it's really nice. Let's see, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, Manny Navarro will join us at 11:30. Marcel Louis Jacques will join us at noon. He was normally he joins us on Mondays, but we had a little conflict there, so we moved him over to today. So we've got that going on. By the way, how is Bitcoin doing right now? 30,800. Did I not tell you that we're going to hit 31,000 during this show? We're working on it right now. It's gone up since we've been on. So I'm loving it, man. Loving it. Right. Nothing really like pumping big. Bitcoin is up about just a little over 1%. The markets, by the way, to give you guys the skinny on it, the Dow is up about 38 points. No, sorry, just update here. 135 points. S&P is up 20 points, and the NASDAQ is barely up. Barely up. So that's what you got going on right now. What else? Ohana breakfast is the best. Okay. You sleep during the Hall of Presidents. You miss a great history present. Rosendo, I've seen it 1,000 times, bro. You know how many times I've been to the Hall of Presidents, Rosendo? I've been to the Hall of Presidents more than 50 times. I mean, it's how many times can you watch it? The only time you need to watch it is when they add a new president so you can then, but outside of that, it's pretty much you've seen it all. You act like I went there once and I fell asleep. Brother, I've seen the Hall of Presidents since I was a child. And I'm 56 years old now. I've been to, I shit you not, I've been to Disney World well over 100 times. Like well over 100 times. I'm not lying. Well over 100 times. We used to have annual passes, and we would go. My God, anybody that's followed this show, I've been on for 33. This is my 33rd year. Anybody that's followed this show for real, like for a long time, how many times did I broadcast from Disney? Me and Mad Dog would broadcast from Disney more than anybody. I broadcasted from Hollywood Studios several times, and then from the boardwalk. I've met some of you. You've come out to the boardwalk to meet me and all that. Anybody that's followed this show, Rosendo, you probably haven't followed this show long enough, but I've done at least 30 to 40 shows alone in Disney. Just that. Okay, besides going to Disney, okay, on the well over 100 times that I've been there, 30 to 40 times of them have been to broadcast there at the ESPN Club on Disney's Boardwalk. You know, I even did it in didn't I do it at 1210 that I went somewhere and I broadcasted for 1210 from Disney once? Didn't I do that once, I think? No? I want to say I did once, but either way. So yeah, I haven't done it on the podcast, and I can, because obviously I can talk to the people in Disney, and one day this podcast will I'll do it from Disney. I'll do it from the boardwalk on ESPN and ESPN Club. I just haven't done it because I haven't been back to Disney, and like as we've just been talking about. But do you know how many my man, I have been to Disney a lot. I mean, a lot. A ton. Does the Trump animatronics try to overthrow the government at the No, but he does call Georgia for more votes on there. So yeah, they do that. Yes. Oh, have you been to the Polynesian but never had the Ohana breakfast? No, I have not. I have not had the Ohana breakfast. I usually don't wake up that early. All you can eat family style breakfast with special characters, guests for the kids. Okay. I've done the character stuff in Disney World. It's just to like where the castle is. There is a restaurant to the left side, and they have a character dinner or lunch there, I think. And I've done that. And I know we did a character thing once at the Contemporary, a long time ago, man. This must have been, my daughter's 23. This must have been easily 18, 16, 17 years ago. She was 5, 6, 7 years old or something like that. So it was a long, long time ago. But I remember we did it at the Contemporary. There was some kind of character together there also. I've done it in a couple different places. Big on from Carroll City, but I'm listening from Staunton, Virginia. I'm a truck driver. Thanks for making my day light. Thank you. Oh, flyby. Oh, flyby is what you mean, not flight. I got you. Thank you, my man. King Shore says, Big O, you can go in there and take a nap and with Sleepy Joe. Yeah. Except I won't fall. Sleep. Can you imagine? What would be the over and under on Joe Biden? No, because he's permanently sleeping. But maybe that's why he falls all the time, because he's asleep. The other day when he fell over that sandbag, it's like, hey, moron, you're a goofball. You barely have trouble standing. You might want to look where you're walking, and at what point do you start looking where you walk? How many times do you need to fall? Let me make sure I lift my legs so I can get over that step. You always wonder about that. It's like, have you figured out that you barely know how to stand or walk? Hey, what a goofball. I got to tell you. Let's see. I've been listening to you for 30 years. I know you've been at Disney. It doesn't mean that you went to of course I went to the Hall of Presidents. Disney is awesome to go to, especially in Christmas. Oh yeah, I love going Christmas time. Christmas and Not So Scary Halloween is also fun for the kids. If you have small kids, take them to Disney's Not So Scary Halloween. I think that's actually a really cool thing. They're giving candy out in every area. We used to take my daughter to the Not So Scary Halloween, and it's several dates. It starts like in late September and ends. Hell, it might end a couple of days into November actually, but it's several dates throughout, like a spread over a little over a month, and so it's not just one night; it's several nights. And they kind of, if I remember correctly, it's kind of like they close the park down and then reopen it at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And then you go in and then, not as many people are in it in the park. So you get to ride the rides and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really cool if you have young kids. a not so scary Halloween. That's another thing that I would definitely suggest for those of you out there. Oh, so at this point, has Riley given up on getting Dame? It's not in Riley's control. We can't, he's trying, but he can't try if the other guy doesn't want it. You know what I mean? It's like saying, I really want to marry Jennifer Aniston, but she doesn't want to marry me. Okay, so then where are we here? That's what I'm saying. So, I really want to win the lottery, but somehow they're not giving me the numbers, So it's not that he's not trying. It's just he can't try right now because there's got to be a give and take. And there's no give and take. It's all bullshit. It's all lies that they've been fed in the media from the agent. Because it's certainly not Dane Lillard doing any of this. He's never said it publicly. And all he ever says is, I want to stay. I want you to build a winner here. That's all he ever says. Let's see. We took my daughter to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, and it was awesome. Yeah, man. That is a fantastic thing to enjoy with your kids. We all fall sometimes. It just matters how many Secret Servicemen it takes to help you get up. Yeah. So there ain't no Secret Servicemen helping me get up. But see the difference. You know what? Dude, I just thought about it. My God. Why don't we teach sorry-ass, bum-ass old Biden judo? If it works for Tua, it could work for Biden. Well, we don't know if it works for Tua yet, right? Because it hasn't happened yet. We're going to see the regular season happen. But maybe somebody can teach old Joe some judo, and he can learn how to break his fall. No shot, right? He's too much of a goofball. The best part is, okay, so let's see. I'm trying to find an analogy for this. Okay, so your buddy has no aim whatsoever. All right? None. I mean, seriously, he's such a goofball. You hand him a Frisbee and he wings it and it goes backwards. You give him a baseball and he throws it like what was that sprinter's name? That was horrible. He couldn't sing. He also screwed up singing. God, what's the sprinter's name? Come on, help me out, man. Carl Lewis. Okay, so he throws it down, like your buddy is the worst. You hand him a football and he's holding it on the back of the point of the football and he's throwing it like awkward, right? This guy is terrible. So you decide to go to the bar and play darts with him. Sound like a good idea? Probably not, right? Your other buddy's blind. He's having trouble seeing. You know what I'm saying? He's running into walls. No, it's not Joe Biden. So let's put him behind the wheel so he can drive. Probably not a good idea, right? Okay, so your buddy can't stand. I mean, he can't walk. He's tripping. He's falling all over the place. Kind of like old Joe. So now we're going to put him on a bike. I'm looking at old Joe on a bike. I'm like, that helmet ain't going to help, bro. I mean, seriously. Ugh. That's what we're going to do. The guy can't walk straight, so let's put him on a bike. And then what happens? Oh, shit, he fell on a bike. Really? Yeah, why don't we put Joe Biden on a motorcycle? In fact, why don't we have Joe Biden jump the fountains at Caesar? It's our job in life. Every 4 years, we put a useless turd in office. We had an orange turd, and now we have another old turd, and we'll see what's the next turd that comes up now. Anyway, what else do we have going on? Congratulations to JD Arteaga, longtime pitching coach, former player, right? Also becomes the head coach of the University of Miami baseball team. And listen, being an older guy, I grew up loving UM baseball. Ron Frazier made me love, college baseball. He made college baseball as sexy as it could possibly be, get it on national television, all those kind of things. I mean, it really is amazing what Ron Frazier was able to do and how he created buzz out of something it's kind of hard to create buzz with in college baseball. And so the entire sport owes that man for what he did, not just for the University of Miami, but for the sport in general. But it's fallen by the wayside, unfortunately, and we all know why. It's the finances. And that's where, JD deserves this, but the poor guy, man, it doesn't matter who's coaching, the Canes baseball team. You're just up against it, man. I was just talking to my buddy about this yesterday, actually. You can't compete with FIU and Florida and Florida State and all, because you need rich parents, because the most you can get is half a scholarship. So that means your parents have to pay the other half in order for you to play baseball. Well, then your parents have to have some money, dude, to pay for half a scholarship at the University of Miami. Brother, your parents, what is it, like 70, 80 grand for a year? So you're talking about your parents are going to have to cough up like 35, 40 grand? Are you serious? That's a lot of money. And what are you going to do? So some parents, they'll take out a second mortgage and the kids don't even know, and they're putting themselves in debt, that kind of stuff. And I find that to be absolutely criminal. First of all, I'm kind of a strong believer that education should be free to everybody, but that's a whole different discussion that we should have or whatever. But I think you're at such a disadvantage that it's hard to, what we used to demand, what we used to expect, it's hard to expect that with the University of Miami fiscally, because you're dependent on recruiting kids that have rich parents. And if they're working class parents that have a kid that's great at baseball, that kid's going to Florida State, dude. That kid's going to go to FIU, FAU. That's what they can afford. That's what I can afford. I've told you many times when my daughter was studying, medicine, she had a scholarship to go to the University of Miami for one semester, and they even gave her a dorm and everything for that semester. She barely used it, but they gave her the full ride. You think I paid for any of that? No, I can't afford the University of Miami. I got lucky that she got all the grades that we didn't have to pay ever one penny for her education. But still, dude, it's tough for JD or anybody that's coaching now the University of Miami to really be competing at the highest level. It would have to be a season where you got lucky that you ran into a bunch of kids that their parents had money. And that's it. It's like the only way. Like the perfect storm has to happen. That you were able to recruit, 7, 8, 9 guys that all of their parents had money. And so you got lucky that, they're all willing to go to the University of Miami and pay half their scholarship. That's a lot of cash, dude. Just read the Heat may consider waiving Lowry if they don't find a trade partner. Yeah, but then that means they have to break up the salary over the next couple of years. It's still a cap hit. And by the way, they're not going to find any takers. XJ says Skolnick was reporting that the Blazers essentially came to an agreement with Lillard to keep his mouth shut, to not give the Heat any leverage. That way the Blazers could ask Riley for the house. Well, I'd like to believe that, but I don't see any proof of that. Where's the negotiations going on? I'm sorry. I thought the general manager just came out and said we had great dialogue. We remain committed to building a winner around Dame. Where does that say there's any negotiations with the Heat? There's none. They're not trading him right now. They don't want to trade him. And Dame doesn't want to leave. It's all bullshit. So I don't believe any of that. How do you like them apples? Let's see, what else? Maybe a tandem bike with training wheels. I don't know what that means. Biden. Oh, you mean for Biden? Yeah. Biden needs an Uber Lyft driver to guide him. He shouldn't even ever walk. They should somebody should wheel him around or something. What if you ordered an Uber and Joe Biden picked you up? Would you cancel the ride? Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I couldn't be in the same room with that guy. Are you kidding me? has gone down in sports since Shalala. Where is the University of Miami men's basketball team and women's basketball team gone down, my man? I agree with you. Shalala was not good for sports, but their problem was they didn't spend any money. Now they're spending money, and now they bought the coaches. So we'll see if football turns around. Baseball is fiscally a completely different situation that we're talking about. It has nothing to do with Shalala. It has nothing to do with anybody that's in place right now. Baseball's own situation is completely different. Basketball has not suffered, my brother. Basketball under Larinaga has only gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. But they've always had a great coach there. They have not in football. Okay? You know, the guys you've had here, they weren't the answer. So now Cristobal's got the money and everything else. So we'll see. You got to get past that Shalala stuff. That has nothing to do with it. Not anymore, at least. Thanks to Frazier's insight, Marklight Stadium was most part a full house for Hurricanes baseball games. It drew, you mean Frazier? Yes, exactly. Drew 1 million fans in the 80s, the best in college baseball. But it was fun, dude. You know, it was fun. Greetings from Lehigh Acres. Cook and Lillard were good. Hey, well, you're not getting Lillard. You can forget that one already. In spite of the damn trade not going as planned, at least we didn't get stuck with Beal. Amen to that. Amen to that. Big O, I believe the Heat should try to obtain Nikola Vucevic from the Bulls. I don't think they can, my brother. Go read Barry's article. They won't be able to. So I just don't think it's going to end up happening. They've got to unload these deadbeat salaries, and they're not going to want that. And you're going to have to give up so much to get Vucevic and for them to take your deadbeat salary like a Lowry or something like that. Yeah, no, not going to happen, my man. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Sandy Alcantara pitches tonight, 7-10. Garrett Whitlock for the Red Sox. He's 4-2 and a 4.5 ERA. Sandy's 2-6 and a 5.08 ERA. Jazz Chisholm is back from that turf toe. that is very good. Looking forward to that. Gene Segura had a hammy issue. He's also back. So that is very good news. I like to hear that. Sean, look up. You know what? In fact, I'm going to send you the name because I don't want to ruin the surprise. Okay. So I want you to look up this young lady. I just sent you the text. And when you're ready, pull up, a very nice picture of her. There's probably a lot of bikini shots or whatever, so we can explain something that we just saw. Let me see what we got here. Okay, there we go. My bad. There we go. All right. So once you pull it up, then I will have the rest of the story. Okay? We'll give you the rest of the story. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, you pulled it up. So you see this young lovely here, Alex Earl. This is Braxton Berrios of your Miami Dolphins, formerly of the Miami Hurricanes, his latest girlfriend. She's a TikToker. I have no idea who she is, but I read the article today. They were in the Hamptons this weekend hanging out, having some fun. And apparently she's, I don't know, she's got a crap ton of followers on TikTok. She's a very famous TikToker. And these two have been dating for a while. They were together at the F1 race here in South Florida. So it's kind of been rumored. And she says that she hasn't labeled their relationship. But, they were taking pictures together in bed and all that. And so obviously they have gotten cozy with each other. And people figured out that it was Braxton Berrios. And when they put up a picture at first with no face shot, just his body, and they were able to then figure it out because obviously with Olivia Culpo, right? Or was it the sister that Culpo was with the other guy, right? From the Patriots, right? That's what it was. And then her sister was the one that was with Berrios, right? Or something like that. But anyway, whatever. And so apparently, since he's taken so many pictures with one of the Culpo sisters, the internet, what's it called? The detectives figured out that Braxton Berrios was her newest boyfriend. So there she is, Alex Earl, and Alex spelled as in ALIX, and then Earl with an E at the end. Okay. So Braxton Berrios and his latest lovely. Braxton does good for himself, doesn't he? Right? You figure. He looked good, by the way, in camp. I know he was working on the side with a minor injury, but it wasn't anything serious. So that was good. But he was running well. I'm looking forward to seeing Braxton in this system. I think Tua is going to use this guy like a serious weapon, man. And I think Berrios will turn into that safety valve for Tua. And I think Berrios and Welker are two guys that kind of vibe the same way. And they kind of play the same kind of game. They're both really intense and tough and those kind of things. So I just think it's like a match made in heaven, to be quite honest. And I think Braxton's going to really help out, Tua. All right. Speaking of the Canes, We're going to have Manny Navarro in a couple minutes joining us. So we'll have some fun with Manny, and we'll get into all things Miami Hurricanes. And we got a couple things to talk about here, to talk a little Canes. We are in Atlanta, folks. We're here for a couple days. Tonight we will see The Cure at the State Farm Arena, and then tomorrow night again we'll see The Cure. We're going to see them twice. Then we'll fly back on Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon we'll broadcast live from Hialeah Park like we always do, so we're not missing not one thing, okay? And then Saturday, The Cure will be in town, and we will be at Kaseya Center, I think it is, right? Yeah, at the Kaseya Center to see The Cure. So we'll see The Cure 3 times in this final tour for Robert Smith. For those of you that don't know, if you follow The Cure, Robert does not plan on touring anymore. He may do some occasional festivals or something like that, but you're not going to see any more major tours, from The Cure. And that's something that I think a lot of people, like myself, that's why I want to kind of take advantage of all of this. Cutter's Edge Pro. Yeah, we love talking about Will or Mike. And every day I am reminded about the exceptional work of Cutter's Edge Pro, because I see it in my front yard. I see it in my backyard. The compliments never end. Whether it's the people that live in our cul-de-sac, and our house is the first one. So everybody that, has to drive through there, we've been complimented by everybody. Okay. Everybody has stopped by to say, wow, your yard looks fantastic. Who did it? And we tell them about Cutter's Edge Pro. Go to the Instagram page so you can see a lot of their work at Cutter's Edge Pro. Check it out. Tell them that Big O sent you. Call them 954-472-0622. I've been telling you about the artificial turf. And having dogs like we do, the artificial turf is a savior. So easy to maintain, and you're no longer watering the grass all the time and cutting the lawn, every 10 to 14 days here in South Florida because of all the rain. Jesus, that's a lot of money, man. Hundreds and thousands you're going to save in the long run. So it's going to pay off for itself as time goes on. And they do it all, folks, from lighting to irrigation to tree trimming to landscape design, synthetic turf. You can have the lights that change. We can change colors. Like if it's a Dolphins game, I can put it Dolphins colors. If it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I can make it all pink. If Inter Miami's playing, I can go pink. It's really, really cool. Please call the people at Cutter's Edge Pro. Take your business, your condominium, your home to the next level, and increase the value of your property. Once you add landscaping, you take it to another level, and you also increase the value of your home. 954-472-0622. Anywhere in South Florida. 954-472-0622. CuttersEdgePro.com. Let's go, baby. Manny Navarro is next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at Caneswear.com or InnerMiamiWear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. There he is. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling great. I got up at about 7 this morning, go play some pickleball. I've got the pickleball fever, man. Doing a lot of pickleball play this summer, getting some good exercise in.
I was watching a news story, and I forgot where it was. It's a mall somewhere up north, and as you know, malls are gone to shit.
Yeah.
And a lot of malls are empty and things like that. So they turned I forgot what store it was. It was like a big ass store, and they turned it into a pickleball,
indoor facility.
Indoor facility. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it was like, they put a pet adoption. They put because malls have to change now.
Yeah.
They have no choice because online shopping has absolutely wiped out. So either malls are closing, or some of them are adapting to become more entertainment complexes on top of some shopping, that kind of stuff. So it has to be kind of a mix to draw people over. And pickleball is one of the things that's being built in malls across the country. How about that?
Yeah, and it's great because being out here and baking in this sun, I mean, I try to go as early as I can to get some games in, but the popularity of the sport it's pretty crazy, man. Like I've played at 7 different parks here in South Florida, and they're always packed with people, man. There's always people wanting to play, so it's definitely caught on.
Yeah, I've never played it. I haven't tried it yet. I'm sure one day I probably will, but I am well aware of how freaking popular it is, man. All right, so I was talking about this with my buddy yesterday. J.D. Arteaga is a guy, you saw him as a player. You watched him as a coach here for a long time, pay his dues. This is something that he deserves. I just wish, he did it 30 years ago when everything was financially so much more different. The disadvantage, I just think, whether it's Gino or JD or whoever, I just think that nowadays the disadvantage and the gap that you used to have to overcome was not so bad. Now, fiscally, it is so difficult to overcome that I just don't know how Miami can compete with Florida State and FIU and FAU when, parents can spend a lot less to send their kids there for half a scholarship.
Yeah, I think one thing you got to take into account is somebody messaged me yesterday, this is such a bad hire, they need to go out and spend more money, bring in another guy. I don't know who you hire that comes in here and makes a difference in that capacity when like what you said in terms of financial challenges. Somebody was like, well, look at all these other private schools that have had success. Duke is good now, and Wake Forest. And Wake Forest just made their first College World Series since 1955, bro. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, what about Vanderbilt? I'm like, Vanderbilt's won 2 national titles, and yes, they've been to the College World Series, but are they dominating the sport, right? Are they the premier college baseball program? Plus, doesn't seem like they really care too much about football, so maybe they got some extra resources to put into baseball over there, and they are in the conference that makes the most money in the SEC. So, look, man, like I don't know how you resolve this problem. I know this. I know JT Arteaga loves this program. He's poured his heart and soul into it, and I think he's going to be a good caretaker for it. And oh, by the way, Miami's, yes, they haven't gotten to the College World Series since 2016. Yes, they want to do more. But they're in the hunt every single year to get there. And sometimes, an injury here, an injury there, pitching doesn't live up to what you hope it is or whatever. They've had different issues in getting there. And I just think the age of Miami winning 4 national titles like they did between Ron Frazier and Jim Morris, that's over and done with. Like, this is the new era of college baseball where a private school like Miami, you make it to the College World Series, in 16 or whatever, or 15 and 16, take it. Don't complain. It's just kind of the way it is. You might make it once or twice every decade. That's just the way it is.
No, and I have no problem with it. I mean, I'm well aware of the disadvantage it is to be a head coach at the University of Miami compared to other schools. It's just it's unfair, man. And that's where, because I heard the same criticism, and it's like, bro, this is not on JD. I don't even blame Gino either, bro. I thought Gino did a decent job, bro, overall.
Yeah, I mean, what do you I mean, look, they were right there. They lost to Texas. They got eliminated. I mean, it happens. What are you gonna do? And look, man, like the SEC schools have been dominating the sport for a long time now. they're their premier conference. The best players want to go play there. They get the most teams into the College World Series tournament every year. Like, all of that is real stuff. And for people to just complain and be ignorant to the fact that Miami is a private school, and there's only 11.7 scholarships or whatever they got to divide between 25, 30 guys every year. That makes it tough. And when you're an expensive private school, it makes it even tougher. You know, JD was talking about that yesterday, that it was really bad for them up until about 2016, 2017 in terms of the financial gap. But it's still a challenge now. He talked about how much they need to improve NIL, right, to kind of compete on that front. So it is what it is.
The NIL, can it pay for the other half of the scholarship?
Sure. Kids could use that money. They can use that once you got an NIL, you can pay for any way you want to handle it, right? You know, I just think in general, I said this to you last Friday when we were talking about them looking for a coach before they hired JD, that you know, in the end, the money gap is gonna hurt you. But at Florida being really, really good like they are right now, that makes it even worse because they're the best team in the state. They're dominating. They're a lot cheaper to go play for. Yeah. So a lot of the best kids automatically, at least locally and in the state, their first notion is going to be go play for the Gators. So you're not even really getting the cut of the first group of big time players that want to come play for you. You're getting that next tier, that next group of guys who are like, okay, I'll go play for Miami. So I think that hurts just as much as the difference in pay.
Who is Nick Saban's secret ace recruiter?
Well, it's I was at the Future 50 last weekend in Bradenton. Spent 2 days over there, and it's Ryan Williams, 6'1", 170-pound receiver out of Saraland, Alabama. Thank you for referencing the story. I appreciate it. I wrote about that in The Athletic. Ryan, super talented player, part of the 2025 class. The whole reason I was there was to basically get my first look at all the top 2025 recruits in the country. Guys that play from all over the place, and we had kids from California and Michigan and New Jersey and all kinds of places. And they were all together. I think you had 39 of the top 100 players in the 2025 class there. Several, I think 9 of them were committed to programs already. And Ryan is just, you know, he's a guy in Miami. Mario Cristo actually has a really good relationship with him from what he was talking about with us briefly before the camp. But it's one of those deals. This kid wants to go play at Alabama. He's from Alabama. And right now, Miami is basically trying to be the number 2 school. And you know what? Oh, sometimes that's the way it is. That's the way the game is played now. You want to be the second best school sometimes, because if this kid goes there, things don't work out, Nick Saban retire, whatever the case is, you want to be Johnny on the spot, right? And be the school he comes to next. And that's just life in the transfer portal. That's life in modern recruiting.
Where do they stand right now recruiting-wise going into this season? Is there a slot still available, or are they filled up completely for this upcoming season? I know they're working on future recruiting, but I'm just wondering where they stand on the current roster.
Well, with the 2023, yeah, they're pretty much done from what I was told.
Okay.
That was back in the spring. In terms of transfer portal additions, they obviously picked up a couple of players through the transfer portal after spring football here in the summertime. But they're pretty much done and wrapped up going into the season. I think unless a stupendous player, graduate transfer type, finally gets into the transfer portal late and says, I want to come play for Miami, that's probably the only way they would take them. But at this point, it's probably just about running guys off, clearing out space, making sure you're under the 85 limit when fall practice gets underway. But this team is pretty much set as is.
Okay. All right. What's next here? Are we just waiting for camp?
Basically waiting for camp, waiting for ACC Media Days. ACC Media Days, I believe, are the 25th through the 27th of July. I'll be up in Charlotte for that. Talk to a bunch of teams. They're actually making it 3 days, kind of like the way the SEC does it, where you have four teams, 4 to 5 teams doing the media availability. Miami will go on the first day for ACC Media Days. I'm sure we'll have Tyler Van Dyke. I'm sure we will have Cam Kitchens and probably Akeem Mesidor or somebody of that ilk there representing Miami. You have 3 players plus Mario Cristobal. But yeah, it's off-season workouts. These guys are busy keeping themselves in shape, getting ready for the start of camp. I got a chance a couple weekends ago to go hang out with Tyler Van Dyke and a bunch of Drew Rosenhaus's clients, NIL clients. They were up at a camp in Vero Beach. Got to see those guys in person, just have some conversations with them, and I can tell you they're all happy with the new offense. I know that they're happy with the new coordinator. They feel like things are kind of getting back to, in terms of scheme and the way that they're going to play, similar to what they did with Rhett Lashley on the offensive side of the ball. And on the defensive side of the ball with Lance Guidry, play more of that Manny Diaz aggressive style defense where they're putting pressure, trying to create turnovers, that kind of stuff. So I think for the personnel that they have on the roster right now, these are the right coordinators. We will see as time evolves how that works out. But I think for the most part, from a player perspective, they're very happy with what they've got. They really like, I know Tyler really, really likes his new offensive coordinator. They get along really, really well. He says he's a guy that just personality-wise fits this team. It's a big difference from Josh Gaddis.
Well, I just want a guy that adjusts to whatever he has, because that's what a coach should do, because every year it's just not going to work out for you where you have exactly what you want. You're going to find out, oh, shit, this guy has different strengths. I may have to, lean to it in another way. What can you tell Canes fans about Ryan Mack?
Solid player, 2-year starter at St. Thomas Aquinas. This will be his 3rd year starting for a state championship winning program at cornerback. 5'11", about 170, 175. Track kid, runs sub 11 seconds in the 100 meters, so he's got legitimate speed. His father obviously played for the Hurricanes. Rod Mack was a linebacker in the 90s. Mom went to UM, so these are diehard UM people. He's one of those kids that it was just inevitable he was going to end up signing with Miami, even though he had gone to Penn State and Florida State and a couple of other schools were interested in him. Even those schools kind of knew, hey, look, Ryan Mack's going to be a Hurricane. So I think, a good pickup for them. Is he a superstar? Is he a the kind of program changer you want Mario to get? Not necessarily, but I think he's a very good program guy. And sometimes you just need guys that can come in, be really good on special teams, provide depth, and by their junior or senior year, they're ready to contribute and be guys that are solid and dependable. And that's what Mario's trying to do. He's trying to build that kind of depth you need to go after championships, to survive injuries, to be able to play the kind of style that you want to play. Guys that are team first, not selfish, me first type guys. And I think Ryan fits the bill. He is a Hurricane at heart. I think he loves the program. He's the kind of guy who will put in his 4 years here and be an asset to the program.
Is that flag new there, the long one?
I actually got that a couple months ago. Put it up just so I could do this for my Zoom calls and the podcast and everything. Dress a little bit up. I got the Dolphins 72-73 Super Bowl banner there that my father actually gave it to me, because my father had season tickets for both of those seasons down at the Orange Bowl when he was going to Coral Park High School. So I kept that for many years and trying to just dress up the background a little bit for you.
I like the effort, bro.
You like the effort. I'm doing a little something, right? A little something.
Yeah, I can't expect you guys to do the craziness that I have behind my normal studio.
Yes. Right.
It has the entire freaking history of South Florida sports back there. Even the Miami Soul. We even have the Miami Soul back there, bro.
Wow. Okay. If you look up, you can't really see it, but I've got a huge LeBron poster from his days, limited edition LeBron poster. Got an autographed basketball from the Heat from back in the day, from when Dwayne Wade won his first championship here. So I got a little bit of sports memorabilia here in my office.
You know what I should show to people? I should go find the Wheaties box I have stashed, because when they won the 2006 championship, the Heat did something really cool, dude. They had Wheaties boxes ready, and they were signed.
Oh wow!
And they gave each of us a Wheaties box, dude.
Oh wow, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have that Wheaties box with them signed.
That's great. That's a great piece of memorabilia for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I should definitely hold it. I don't sell any of my stuff, but I should show that to the because I don't have that in my studio displayed.
I'm sure you've probably got some really cool stuff, man, from over the years.
Yeah, I have some stuff. It's all bubble wrapped. So I never even took it out of the bubble wrap.
I got this
just because I don't want to ruin it at all, dude. I don't want to mess with the thing.
I got a little Giancarlo Stanton bobblehead here as well from the Marlins. They're just little knickknacks, man. Just dress up the scene.
And it's what people don't realize is that they have to give it to us. We don't we don't ask for it because we're not allowed to.
Right.
So if they want to give it to you, if they literally give it to you, that's when you can take it. And in your case, by the way, not with the Athletic, but in the newspaper business, they used to actually tell you guys you can't accept it, right?
Correct. Yeah, for many, many years, there were a lot of things I turned down. I mean, I was offered tickets to go attend events and things of that nature, to take my wife, take whoever I wanted. And there were a lot of things that I turned down because at the Miami Herald, that was sort of, giving in to the people that we covered, and it kind of took away from our standing as journalists. So this stuff, I bought all of this stuff, and the poster was actually a gift from the Heat, from Joseph Goodman, who covered the Heat during the championship years. He gave it to me. He didn't want the LeBron poster. I figured it's one of 10 that were made, so I'll take it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the basketball my wife got me after the Heat won their first championship. She said, you should have this. So that's it. That's everything was basically bought with my own money or handed to me by family or friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I always used to trip out that the writers wouldn't accept it, but us radio guys, boy, we're whores. We accept everything, bro. We take anything. We'll take 2 or 3 of them if you want, bro. Let's go. Bring it on. It doesn't matter to us.
Yep. For sure.
All right. What do you got going on in the Athletics so folks can check you out?
Yeah, working on a couple different stories. I'm going to do something sort of wrapping up the month of June from a recruiting perspective for the state schools. So I'll have that coming out some point later this week. Some local high school players that are committed. Davy Belfort, whose father actually fought MMA for many, many years. You familiar with the Belfort name in MMA?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, he's a senior at Western High School. His son is going to go play for Virginia Tech, so I'm going to do a feature story on him. I just got off the phone yesterday with the head coach at USF, Alex Goldish, who was born in Russia and lived in Brooklyn and got into football. He never played it beyond the high school level, but he's been coaching for a long time. And just kind of what the first 6 months on the job at USF has been. They're getting the new stadium built, and he's got a big vision for the program. I think he's going to do a better job than his predecessors have, where they only won 4 games in 3 years. I think this dude is built for success, having coached in the SEC and having some success there with Tennessee. So I'll have a story on that, and then plenty of Canes recruiting coverage. Will probably be another commitment here in the next couple days.
Yeah, it's just hard to try to match anything that Beamer did at Virginia Tech, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that job, unfortunately, they only won 3 games last year. A lot of those Virginia kids, it's become global in the sense of recruiting, where Penn State goes in there, raids the state of Virginia for a ton of their best players. The Big Ten and the SEC, having been here at the Future 50, and listening to these kids talk, all of the best players only want to play in the best conference or for the best schools. They don't, and it just puts you at such a huge. And people complain about Mario's recruiting. There's too many 3-stars. I'm like, dude, you go 5 and 7, you're gonna have trouble recruiting. The Gators, on the other hand, go 6 and 6, and because they're in the SEC, kids almost don't care. They're almost like, no, you know what? It's the SEC. I want to be a part of a rebuild. So those are challenges when it comes. I'm not trying to make excuses for Miami. I'm really not. They got to win. They got to get the job done either way.
And Norvell's done an awesome job, bro.
Norvell's done, but look at FSU's recruiting. They went 10-3. They're not doing as well as the Gators.
Where he kills it is in
the transfer portal.
The transfer portal, bro.
Absolutely.
That's where Norvell has been a monster there.
Absolutely. And you look at Mario's success at Oregon. Well, why was Oregon killing it? Because they were the top school out west for many years. USC was down for many years. Lincoln Riley wasn't there yet. They were the premier team in the Pac-12. Them and Utah were the ones winning the most, but they were getting better recruits because of the Nike connection. Mario comes here. Ruiz's money, kind of liquidates. You have a couple of issues with NIL. Now the kids, you go 5-7, you change the whole coaching staff. It's not gonna run as smoothly as you want it to.
Oh, I'm with you there. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and check out his work at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe like I and many others do. Manny, have a great week, my friend. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, bro. Talk to you soon. Take care.
You got it, baby. There you go. Manny Navarro. And, dude, I was at Caneswear just on Saturday. That's where I bought this hat. They got great hats. You want a Marlins hat. You want a Panthers hat. You want a Miami Heat hat. You want an Inter Miami hat. You want a Miami Dolphins hat. Canes. They got it all, man. Get there. Go to Caneswear. They got anything and everything practically with a Canes logo on it. And if you're looking for right now a little Marlins gear, a little Inter Miami gear, come on, man. Get on down there. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. They've got sneakers. They've got sandals. They've got pens and pencils and wristbands and shirts and jerseys. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Lights for your man cave that are, Canes lighting. Just all kinds of stuff that you're just going to freak out. When you get there, you need a little portable speaker to take to the beach. They've got a killer one that's a Canes one. It's pretty awesome. I mean, go check it out for yourself. Tell them that Big O sent you, I promise you. And you can go online at caneswear.com. If you live too far, you live in Hobe Sound, you live in the Keys, you live out of state, go to caneswear.com. You order over $99 and you will get free shipping. Caneswear.com.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right. I'm up here in Atlanta for The Cure, and I'm going to see them tonight and tomorrow. And this is Robert Smith's pretty much his final tour. He might still do some concerts, but it'll be, here or there. It won't be major tours anymore. At least that's what that's what they say. And it was kind of a mission to get the band together for this tour as it is, especially the bass player. So I'm glad that they're able to get him on board. So I want to see him as much as possible. And, I'm into music. So one of the things I saw was Frankie Valli. And at first, when I read this story, I go, man, this is crazy. But then I thought about it and I said, good for him. And this is it. Frankie Valli, by the way, has walked like a man down the aisle again. The Four Seasons frontman married his longtime love, Jackie Jacobs, in Las Vegas on Monday. It's terrific to have found love once again at this stage of my life. The bride is 60. The groom is 89. They exchanged the vows at Westgate Resort without any attendees, by the way. Okay? And by the way, she's a very pretty woman. She's a former CBS executive. And so the legendary Jersey-born singer wore a classic navy suit with a white button-down shirt, while the former CBS marketing executive stunned in a simple white wedding dress with her hair pinned up. The couple met at a restaurant in Los Angeles in 2007, but didn't start dating till 2015. We kept in touch by phone until he called me and asked me out for a date, and we've been together ever since. This is his fourth marriage. First, he married Mary Delgado in 58, had two daughters, Antonia and Francine. Divorcing in 71, Francine died of a drug overdose in 80 at the age of 20. Wow, to lose a kid that young. The Sherry singer then married Marianne Hannigan in 74 and separated in 82. Valli was married to his second wife, Hannigan, from 74 to 82. They have three sons, Francesco, and his third wife, Randy Closley, to whom he was married from 84 to 2004. His third union in 84, when he said, I do to Randy, whom he met and went with on to welcome 3 children. The tough breakup, but there you go. So, and I'm thinking, when I first read that story, I go, he's getting married at 89? And I'm a dick for thinking that, because you got to live your life. The man's lived to 89. He might live to 99 or 109. And so if this is the person you love and you want to spend time with, you know, I God bless you, bro. God bless you. The fact that you can still, you know, have a relationship with somebody at this age. He's still singing, by the way. Frankie still tours, or maybe not tours, but does like residencies, I guess, or something like that. No, I think actually he literally does some dates, and he does some tours, which is truly amazing with Frankie Valli, as long as he's been, you know, doing it. But pretty awesome, actually, when you think about it, because why shouldn't you get married if the person loves you and you get along, and maybe that's what's going to keep you around a little longer, you know, having somebody that truly cares for you, having somebody you can live for, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that's married or has kids, you know what I'm talking about, because once you're married or you have kids, there's a level of love that just goes to the highest level possible, because it's not so much that you love that person, but you live for that person. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it's, you know, all about. And obviously this is somebody that, you know, tickles his fancy, as they say. Pretty cool. 89. Frankie Valli. God bless you, brother. How about some famous birthdays today? Let's do that before Marcel Louis Jacques joins us. Let's give you a couple of famous birthdays today. Born on this date, June 27th, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, is 48 years old today. Singer, R&B singer Her, she is 26. Drake Bell, he is 37 years old. Ed Westwick, the actor, is 36 years old. Who else do we have here? I think there's another couple here. Vera Wang, if you need a wedding dress made, she is 74. J.J. Abrams, famous director, ass-kicking director. Many good shows and movies. And that's it. Those are some of the birthdays in entertainment. Now, today in music history, we start off in 1970. The English band Smile, on this date, decided to change their name to Queen. In 2002, Who bassist John Entwistle died from a heart attack at the age of 57 in his room in Vegas, in the Vegas Hard Rock Hotel, one day before the first scheduled show of the band's American tour. So I'm wondering, what room was it in the Vegas Hard Rock? And would you ask for that room if you were a Who fan? In 2015, on this date, Yes bassist Chris Squire died at the age of 67 from cancer. In 81, on this date, Motorhead had their only #1 album in the UK when their live set No Sleep Till Hammersmith topped the charts. In 94, Aerosmith, on this date, became the first major band to let fans download a full new track free from the internet. Over 10,000 CompuServe subscribers downloaded the song head first within its first 8 days of availability. In 71, on this date, the Fillmore East Concert Hall in New York closed with performances by the Allman Brothers, the J. Giles Beach Boys, and Mountain. In 95, Mirrorball, the collaborative album between Neil Young and Pearl Jam, came out. In 2000, on this date, Sum 41 released their debut album, Half Hour of Power. And in 2006, on this date, Axl Rose was arrested after allegedly biting a security guard on the leg outside his hotel in Stockton, Sweden. There you go. Axl's kind of changed his ways over the years. He's not that that madman and just mad dude. Now when you watch him on stage, he'll smile, he'll joke around with people, with his roadies. So it shows that he's changed just a little bit. All right, let's get ready. Hour number 3 of the program is next. Give us a minute here. And Marcel Louis-Jacques is ready to dominate.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins report with Marcel Louis-Jacques is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All right, there he is, ready to rock and roll. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Headed up to Orlando tomorrow. Haley gets in tomorrow afternoon. A little mini vacation for her birthday.
All right.
So cranking out some work before we go. But yeah, man, feeling good.
I'm in Atlanta right now. So here for a concert for a couple of nights. I'll be watching The Cure for a couple of nights. So you tell me, what is the cure for Stephon Diggs? Why is he still bitching and complaining about the Cincinnati loss? Apparently, that's his problem, and he has a problem with Josh Allen. Tell me that this problem won't be solved, and he'll be a petulant little child throughout the entire year, and this will cause problems for the Buffalo Bills. Come on, cough it up.
I don't know about all that. Look, I was just talking about this earlier today. I will admit that, yeah, because it's not financially motivated, like this is a little more concerning than usual. But I think it just things like that arise when you're in the locker room, you're on a team, you're in a facility with guys over and over and over again, day in, day out throughout the year. Like problems arise when you're comfortable enough with somebody, you feel good about not keeping it in. You feel good about letting it out and airing your grievances here. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Obviously, the Cincinnati loss was tough for the Bills, tough for Bills fans to see. They got outplayed by a better team and a team that just mentally had more in the tank than they did. It was a difficult season for Buffalo last year, man. Player having to be revived on the field. It started with a player being cut because of rape allegations and accusations, and ended with a player having to be revived on the field. There's no way that team had any juice left in it for a Super Bowl run. Maybe Stephon Diggs did, and he was upset that nobody else did. I don't know. But I would assume that it's fixed because he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL right now. And you tend to, if he's upset, you tend to bend to those wishes.
So what you're saying is just throw him the ball more and more and he won't cry like a little bitch.
It is as simple as literally give him the ball. Give him the ball. Give him the ball. I think that I don't remember the game as much. I think I fell asleep during that game. But from what I do remember and what I've seen, and if you just read the stat line, like it was an uninspired effort. It was an uninspired effort from Buffalo to get spanked like that on your home field after the Dolphins had kind of pushed them to the brink the week before. I'm sure it still annoys him. I guess he wants to win though.
Get over it, bro. Everybody loses in life, dude. You lose a girl, you lose your boyfriend, you lose your husband, you lose your wife, you lose a game, you lose a hand at a blackjack table, you lose a hand in poker, you lose a lot of money, you lose in business, you lose your stake in your business, you lose your job. Get over it, bro. Shit happens to all of us, man. It's just to whine about that Bengals game now at this point, that shows me you're mentally not really a tough person, actually. And by the way, he's not, because if he doesn't get the ball, he needs to be consoled by his coach at halftime. I mean, that's the kind of bullshit that you're a grown-ass man, dude. How about getting a little bit more mentally tough and learn to overcome adversity? Not whine like it. Come on, dude. You're getting the money. You're getting the ball. What more do you want?
Well, he wasn't getting the ball. That's why he was mad. It's like if Tyreek Hill says, "I want more targets,"
he gets the ball enough.
He gets more targets.
He gets the ball enough, dude. What the hell, bro? I'd rather you listen. I'd rather you act more like Jimmy Butler. Okay, that's a superstar that could hog the ball all he wants. But he also has to get other people involved, and he shows leadership, that way. To me, this doesn't help your team in any way, shape, or form, because now your quarterback, which, by the way, I'm glad, because I don't want the Bills to be helped in any way, shape, or form. But now your quarterback goes into the huddle and steps out of the huddle thinking, first and foremost, I got to throw it to Stephon, or if not, he's not going to be happy. And guess what? Sometimes the other guys might be open. You throw to the open guy. That's what Tua does.
I think if you throw to the open guy, it's fine as long as it works. But when you're trying to pass to Khalil Shakur and Gabe Davis instead of Diggs in one-on-one coverage, then I'd probably be upset too. I'd probably be upset too. I don't fault guys for wanting to win. I don't fault competitive spirit, competitive nature. And that's all I really see that's all I'm seeing in Diggs. That's all I'm seeing in Diggs is the guy wants to win. It matters. It probably weighs on you losing the conference championship one year, and then you can't get back to the conference game the next year because you're in some instant classic in the divisional round. And then you lose again after all you've been through the next year. Like, I'm sure it gets annoying. I'm sure it weighs on you. I'm sure it's not as easy as it is to say like, oh damn, I just lost a game of FIFA. Like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna fault him. I'm not gonna fault him for doing that, for caring. But like it is something that I assume you get over once the next season starts. So when the season starts, I'm sure that they'll be over it. I'm sure they'll be over it. But I'm not gonna tell them get over a loss, because that's like, I mean, you're not gonna tell, you don't tell Tyreek X, yeah, get over that wild card loss. Oh, you like, I think as a Dolphins fan, you want that to fuel you. You want guys to not feel that sting again, to not feel that loss again. So like, I can't get on board. I can't pile on somebody being upset about a loss.
Oh, I can pile up. Let it go already, bro. You need to focus on the new season already. You just can't. You just and to you, their problems were a lot deeper than just not throwing it to Stephon Diggs. Come on, dude.
And that's where I'm saying like that area concerns me more than I'm mad about a loss, is when somebody's upset and it's not financially motivated. Financially motivated issues can be solved as easy as a new contract. Here's more money. You want more money? Here's more money.
Yeah, but that ain't the issue.
When it's not money, when it's not, then you do look at it a little closer and say like, oh, is there a fix? Is there a simple fix for this? And I guess we'll see.
And I'm with Jonathan Jensen. He better get used to it, because he's going to be handed some more losses this year by the Dolphins. So, I'm looking forward to him whining a little bit more. I've always been a Hard Knocks guy. I enjoy the hell out of that show every year, pretty much. What do you think about the Jets? And I think that's actually – Chicago sucks. Washington, because of Snyder, they're already thinking more in season anyway for that. When you look at it, the Jets are actually, out of that group of teams that were available, that's probably the best one to use for Hard Knocks. Although Aaron Rodgers is not built for that shit, but that's another story.
Is it confirmed that they're going that?
Not confirmed, but it looks like they're going. It's kind of leaning strongly in that direction. Put it that way.
Yeah, I could see them being interesting. Like, they got a certain kind of bravado to them up there in New York. I can appreciate the chip on their shoulder. I think that I just said this on a podcast earlier today too. I think the football world is overvaluing the Jets a little bit right now. I think we should, wait until we see it first before we start saying things like AFC East favorite, like Super Bowl contender, like title contenders, like windows open. I think because last year they were so clearly a quarterback away that it would make sense to, say, oh, well, they got a good quarterback now, they're automatically going to be good. It's not that easy. Like, I want to see how Aaron integrates here. I want to see how that offensive line stays upright, because it wasn't healthy last year and it wasn't good last year, and they're not necessarily improved in 2023. But yeah, I mean, as far as interest go, like their personalities, I mean, Sauce Gardner would be fun to follow around. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers, if he's open to it, would make for good television at the very least. I think the Dolphins would be a more fun team to follow around for Hard Knocks, but I don't think teams like that distraction. So fans shouldn't necessarily be upset if it's not chosen on their team. If their team's not chosen.
The Dolphins made the playoffs, buddy. Okay, they don't need to go. Okay,
I'm not saying they need to. I'm saying what teams I would be more interested in. The Dolphins have more personalities, I think, more star power, more people that would draw in a national audience than the Jets would.
You are right. I'm just busting balls. That's all.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, they don't need. I mean, shit. The last time they were on Hard Knocks, didn't Ocho Cinco get cut?
Oh god,
like
that Joe Philbin thing was a disaster.
Yeah, so I think like after that, I don't blame the Dolphins for saying like we never want to go on this show again.
Well, we had Joe Philbin then, who like has no people skills whatsoever. Mike McDaniel would be a fucking star.
He's made for Hard Knocks.
A fucking star.
I was shocked that they didn't do it last year, but probably they're just saying, hey, new coach,
first year coach thing.
Yeah. Like he's made for Hard Knocks.
He would be a star.
Elite.
Yeah. The people that don't know McDaniel yet and haven't fallen in love with him, because everybody pretty much likes him. After you get to know him, you're like, dude, how do you not like this guy? He would be the darling in the NFL. Fans would like, wow, I like that guy. That guy's cool, you know, that kind of stuff. And let me tell you something. Young people will love him because they can relate with people like that. They don't relate with the ogres. The people that are screaming and yelling, the classic football coach. Young people really don't relate with that kind of shit. You know, unless they grew up old style with their parents and they're screamers too or something.
No, I think it would be, I think they're a tailor-made fit for a show like Hard Knocks or the Amazon Prime show as well. I think would be good.
Yeah.
But
Salah's serious, but but I like him. I think if he does it, I think he's going to come off well. I think he's going to come off respected. I think in this case, unlike, let's say, Joe Philbin, who was looked at like, what a goofball this guy is, you know, that kind of shit. So I don't think Salah will come off like McDaniel, because McDaniel has a personality that's, you know, completely different than everybody else. But I think Salah will come off well. Aaron Rodgers is the one that I think it's gonna be super awkward, bro. And they're gonna have to edit out a lot of shit. Because he's going to say some crap that, you know, they're not going to want to air. So
I would believe that it would probably need to be fairly heavily edited. Like, I don't know. I could also see him like trying to. He just has like a weird sense of humor, and I could see it. I could see it not landing. I could see it not landing.
Yes. So yes, you're so right on that. Tyreek Hill. What is it? The state attorney now has the investigation. Is that what it is? Right? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
state attorney.
The state attorney has received all materials, or you know, they assume all materials related to this case. Wait and see if charges are filed. Again, this is something where like keep it in the back of your mind, but like I don't lose sleep over it until everything is out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we don't. I don't know. I am ill-equipped to comment on a case that I don't have all the materials for. All we know is what's been reported, that he slapped somebody in the back of the head or back of the neck. I don't know if any injury was sustained. I don't know any of that. It seems like the type of thing that gets settled out of court. I'm not sure. I don't feel like this is something we're suspending somebody over, but if it does happen, a game, it's not going to be anything lengthy. It would feel a little like you know, hammer to an mountain out of a molehill, if you will. But that's just based on what we know that's been reported. I don't know all of the facts. I don't know if there were threats. I don't know if there was additional harassment. I don't know anything else other than what's been reported. So, you know, abstain from, you know, maybe speculating on what could happen, what might happen, until, you know, everything is released. Like, you know, things like this, we learn it all eventually.
Bro, there's a stinking video. How have we not seen that video?
I thought somebody would have tried to make some money. I thought somebody was going to try to make some money off.
You know, TMZ offered
TMZ.
You know, TMZ offered him some good cash. They have turned down TMZ, dude.
They had to have, which is, again, kind of incredible. I thought it would be.
Wow, that guy's old school. Like, and he must be comfortable. He must have plenty of cash in the bank, man. I don't know who owns that or what corporation owns it or something. I think if I remember correctly, somebody mentioned it's not like some big corporation. It's kind of like a small company that owns, you know, that whole thing there. But wow, they really don't need the money, because I would imagine that TMZ offered several $1,000s for that thing. You know?
I have no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind.
I'm dying to watch that video. See what the hell is going on.
If and when that does come out, then I guess we can opine a little bit more accurately. But until then, like, I don't know. It would be irresponsible to say he's facing XYZ. I don't know.
Hey, they keep telling me Dame Lillard has a ton of interest to play for the Miami Heat, yet I never see any of it ever. I never see him say it. All I ever see is the general manager say, we had a great conversation. We're going to build around Dame. That's it. I never see it, bro.
The latest is that he did not request, and he wants to see what they're doing in free agency. I don't know what he thinks they can do in free agency.
I don't know either, bro. I have no idea. By the way, as we'll continue talking about this every week. As time goes on, Dalvin Cook becomes a Miami Dolphin, right? Every day that goes by, it's one day closer that he becomes. That's the way I look at it, because I look at it like there's no market for him, and if there's a market, it won't be probably a team that has no state tax or whatever, like New York has it. So their deal would have to be significantly more for him to go there, to go to Miami, and it's probably only slightly less. And with the no tax state, that's not going to mean much. So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, every hour, every day that goes by, it's closer that he becomes a Miami Dolphin.
I would imagine so. Yeah. But again, I don't think he's in any rush. I think, his services are required. I think he knows that at a certain number that he can essentially pick his team. So, there's a fail safe. He's not here like Zeke Elliott, where I don't know if there's interest in Ezekiel Elliott. He might have to be an injury fill-in in training camp or midway early in the season. If somebody gets hurt, somebody tears an ACL, someone sprains an ankle, something like that. I don't think Dalvin Cook is in that realm. I think he's still in his prime.
He still has burst, bro. He's still an explosive player. Zeke Elliott has no explosion whatsoever. He's not. Yeah, Zeke Elliott's going to be signed if somebody's super desperate and they have, several injuries, I think. Not even to your lead back do you replace Ezekiel Elliott with. I don't think so.
Yeah. So he's not in the same. It's not the same realm. It's not the same conversation here. I don't think Dalvin is in any rush. I don't think he's in any rush. I mean, he's publicly flirted with the Dolphins now. Thinks it'd be a great fit, but I mean, I don't remember. I saw the answer. I don't remember the question, if he was asked specifically about the Dolphins or if he brought up the Dolphins under his own merit. Either way, if he was asked about the Dolphins, shit, man, it's not like he's going to say, I don't think it's a good fit. Every team with money is a good fit. Every team in the NFL is a good fit if you're a free agent.
All right, so we'll wrap it up with this. We'll ask you, Cam was in Disney with his family. You're going to Disney, okay? So the top 3 rides of all time for Marcel Louis-Jacques in all Disney, World, and Land parks. Since you are a West Coast boy, you've been to Land also. And I think they're both the same shit. They have pretty much the same rides. But just in case, I'm going to throw both of them in there. Every park, you name it, Animal Kingdom, whatever, any park you've been to. The top 3 Disney rides, start with number 3, work your way up.
All right. It's going to be tough.
No fence straddling here.
Wow. Okay, so caveat is I have not been on Tron and I have not been on Guardians, which are like 2 massive. So those don't count.
Right,
those don't count right now.
I haven't been on Avatar either. So yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to go number 3 is.
It's a Small World.
No, I'm going to go Space Mountain number 3.
Okay.
Go Space Mountain number 3.
You're going
Fast,
Alpha.
Fun.
You're going Alpha or Omega. Which lane you're using? In
I have no idea. It's been a long time since I've done Space Mountain, but I know that it was fun and it still resonates here. So Space Mountain number 3, just it's a staple.
Okay.
Number 2. Part of me wants to say the Screaming California in California Adventure over at Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's the only legitimate roller coaster in the Disney park, like legitimate classic roller coaster that you're going to find. Timeless, looks over the lake and everything, can see all the parks. And then I don't know how many people are going to share this at number 1 because there's not a lot of sentimental value to it. But number 1, I'm going Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
That's I think it is ride. I think it's the coolest freaking ride, man. I did it like 4 times as a kid. Like I loved being able to, especially in the Disney World version, when you get to the top and you see every single part. I love the fear that they drum up in you. I like the scenery in it, the little videos that they show, the background story of it. Like I think it's awesome. Especially like when you go up, like before you go up and you're in the shaft and that Disney trick glass pops in and like you got like ghosts all next to you. I think it's the coolest ride. Like definitely going on there in 2 days. Also want to do like the Star Wars run ride. Gonna do Guardians. Pray. I'm setting an alarm for 6:45, 6:30, 6:45 to get in the virtual queue. Hopefully that works. And then we're gonna have a good time. Hopefully get over to Universal as well on Friday and then be back by Saturday. But it should be a fun week, man. It'll be a fun week.
It'll be a great week, bro. It's how do you not have fun when you go to Disney and Universal?
The happiest place on earth, man.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Happiest place on earth. You got no kids. Like
kids or no kids, bro. Disney's
no kids.
Fantastic.
Getting in for free.
Yeah, you got the hook up there, so that's
a good one. I told you. I'll never leave Disney or Florida for that reason, man. I can't imagine having to pay for all 3 hotel ticket and flight is.
Woo.
Yeah, that's I thank you for everybody who does because I'm sure it has an impact on my livelihood. Thank you for supporting the company, but I am not built like that yet.
No doubt. All right, man. Enjoy your week. We'll catch up later on in the week, my friend, and enjoy Disney. And follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. You be good, buddy.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, sir. There you go. Welton Rayom. Call my guys, Dan and Jeff, and they can help you out in so many different ways, folks. When we talk about bankruptcy, homeowner claims, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. Their offices are in Hollywood. You can call them from anywhere, man. Well, one of our listeners in Orlando drove down to hire Dan and Jeff. By the way, he probably didn't even have to drive down. He probably could have just called, which was awesome on his part. But you could call free consultation, 954-966-4646. Folks, these insurance companies are the worst. They're not looking out for your benefit. They're looking out for their own benefit. So make sure you call Walton Rayom. They have their own adjusters. They will send their own adjusters, and then they will call the insurance company. You don't need to call the insurance company. You don't need to deal with that stress. You have enough shit to handle throughout life, right? The kids, the wife, the husband, job, career. You got so many things going on in your world. You don't have time to be tracking down these insurance companies. Let Daniel and Jeff take care of it. Welton Rayom, they do an amazing job. Now, I saw it firsthand. Progressive was giving us the runaround. These guys freaking crush them. Call them. The consultation is free. So if you're dealing with bankruptcy issues or a criminal defense or a personal injury, you got hurt in a car accident at a store somewhere, call them. Business owner claims, commercial litigation, condo damage, call my guys at Welt and Rayom. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with Marcel Louis-Jacques. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Thank you all out there, as always, for keeping it locked. Thought it would happen, man. Bitcoin's still at over 30. I mean, it's stayed strong over 30,000. It's at 30,560 right now. But I thought maybe it would hit 31 before I got off the air. Not yet, folks. Not yet. What else do we have here that I wanted to talk about with you guys? Oh, yes. the Miami Dolphins. This is some crazy ass shit, dude. So the tickets for the Dolphins game against the Kansas City Chiefs went on sale in Germany at noon. Not this noon, day before. And it sold out in 15 minutes. There were people on queue. Have you ever bought tickets and sometimes you get a code from Ticketmaster and then they'll put you on queue and they'll say 5 people are in front of you or 50 people are in front of you? I've done that for concert tickets, right? 1 million. You were behind 1 million people on queue. Oh shit. And some of you argue with me, oh, you're an idiot that you're, because I got ripped for the European division idea. They can't carry it. Yeah, they can carry it, huh? They can't carry it, huh? American football is, for me, it's the greatest sport ever invented. But I get that the greatest sport in the world is soccer. But once the world starts to learn about American football, I'm sure it may not become soccer ever, but I'm sure it's going to pick up plenty of steam like it has in Central and South America and in Europe. We got fans all over because I know because they reach out to me all the time. And in England, the Dolphins are enormous. And to see, the Germans, the way they've supported the game now the last couple of years, it's impressive, dude. I mean, not selling it. I'm not shocked that the game sold out in 15 minutes. I am shocked that there were 1 million people in queue. That, my friends, is impressive. That tells me you could have sold out several games. In fact, that tells me that if Germany had a team, guess what would be sold out? The season. Okay? The season would be sold out. That's how fanatical they are. If 1 million people were in queue for that game, can you imagine? So I'm telling you, you got to create a European division. You don't expand 1, you expand 4. And you go London, Paris, Frankfurt, if you want, Berlin, I don't know, whichever one you want in Barcelona. And you put 4 teams out in Europe, and I think it would be enormous. I think it would be one of the hottest tickets in all of sports in Europe. I truly believe that. I think once people anywhere in the world start to get to know the sport of football, they fall in love with it right away. So it's kind of interesting to see that the Dolphins and the Chiefs had that kind of a draw. That's pretty damn cool, dude. Very cool. And 1 million people in queue. Damn. Oh, man. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Sandy tonight at 7:10. I will not be watching. I will be at a Cure concert in heaven. What else do we have? I don't think we have that much more, to be quite honest. Let me check here on the text line. Remember, please, to smash the hell out of the like button. Don't forget you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. We get 100% of the donation on Cash App or Venmo. You can send one on Super Chat, but we get 70 there. They take 30 YouTube. Like they don't have enough money as it is. Is Disney open year-round? Of course it is. Can't think of a worse place to be in the summer than Disney. 800 degrees, long lines, and kids screaming, I'm good. I love Disney. Doesn't matter. What I do in the summertime or any other time, I try to go on a weekday. So there's less people there and it's not so bad. Oh, what 4 cities? Oh, I think I just told you that right now. Barcelona, either Frankfurt or Berlin, and then Paris and London. Those are my 4 cities. Has anyone ever been to an NFL game in Europe? Is the experience better than a game in the States? It's interesting. Don't know. Basketball was invented by a Canadian. A. Big O needs to refresh his history. Why? What did I say? What? Canadian invented American football? And so? Who cares about that? It's still an American sport, right? And by the way, they invented hockey. We own hockey. So what, Rosendo? They have a couple teams. What? So they invent shit that they can't even support themselves. Let's see. Oh, with Messi coming to Inter Miami, do you think maybe they'll try to add a veteran like Kugi Freeman or P. Bellisi to complement him? Bro, I don't know any of those guys. I don't know what they're going to bring, but they are bringing, what's it called? Busquets. They are bringing Sergio Busquets. But, yeah, supposedly they're going to bring one more guy. But I don't know who it's going to be, to be quite honest. I'm not smart enough in that area. Either way, listen to what I talked about yesterday with Messi. That's the scary part. The stuff I talked about yesterday. That's really scary part. You made that a segment, right? Did you make that a rant? The Messi stuff yesterday? Huh, Sean? I don't think he's hearing me. Sean, can you hear me? Oh, you did. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, audio. It's on audio.
Okay, yeah, there you go. So go to the audio clip and listen to it. There's a huge problem looming for Inter Miami. Let's see. Big O and Sean, greetings from Vegas, from Miles Deep. I finally got to catch it live. Thank you, sir. If summertime gets a resort for Disney, leave around noon and go back around 5 or 6 makes it tolerable. Yeah, you're right about that. Yep. That's why it's an American sport. Oh, why? Oh, because a Canadian invented it here. Brother, I don't care if a Canadian invented it in Montana or in Canada. It's American football. We own it. And by the way, we own hockey too. They don't even win Stanley Cups anymore in Canada. We own that sport. We carry that sport. Without America, there is no NHL. Without America, there is no NFL. Even with Messi and Busquets, I still don't know how Inter will make the play. Oh, they're not making the playoffs. They ain't making the playoffs. They are done. They are an absolutely terrible, just a terribly built team. Even if you had Gregory back and who else were they missing? It doesn't matter. Campana's been a disaster. Oh, what's the other guy? Coco is out too. Whatever. Martinez signing was a disaster. Campana's always injured. He doesn't really end up becoming that guy that we thought maybe he could be. It's such a disaster. It really is. All right, we are out of here, folks. We thank Cameron Wolfe. We thank Manny Navarro. We thank Marcel Louis Jacques. We thank all of you that tuned in and supported the show. Please visit our amazing sponsors. Don't forget to hit the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you hit the like button and share with folks out there. That gets the algorithm going, and more people will visit us. I am going to relax for a little bit and enjoy a beautiful concert tonight with The Cure. We will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the